Hello, everyone. Welcome to our How to Submit to our grading website portal that is brand new as of now. I want to let you guys know how to do everything and show you the different ins and outs of the website to answer any questions you might have. So, first thing to do is to go up to the grading portal button here in the top right. Click on that. And then if you are a new user, you need to register, put your username, email address, and password in and create that. It will be a pretty secure password, so it might have to be different characters, letters, it'll tell you on the site. And then once you do that and you have your account, you can log in. And it will bring you to your dashboard. So this is your main dashboard for all of the grading items. Has a little bit of explanation here in terms of what the grading is, how they grade, what cards I should grade, all that different stuff. You have your new create order new button that we'll go to next. Your current orders will show up in the my orders button here. You have your addresses, payment methods, account details, and then the log out. And then a lot of that stuff is right here as well. So the most important thing to know before we get started on showing you how to do an order is that you can only do one order at a time. So if you're familiar with the paper forms we had here in the shop, you had to do a different form for each different service level that you were doing. It's the same thing for the website. And with the website, you need to complete that order through the cart, submit it, complete it, print off your packing slip, or at least finish it and complete it. And then if you don't have a printer, you can come to the shop and print off your packing slip before you start your second type of order. And the reason for that being is we need an order number for every order that we do. And if it's different levels, we cannot have it have the same order number. So the cart will only allow you to have one item in there at one time and submit that, but that's a good thing, and the best thing to know is only one order at a time. Complete that order completely, check out, print the packing slip, and then start your second order if you have a different service level you are doing. So let's go into the site. You click on create new order here, and what pops up is you have our 3 different service levels at this time. Now, maybe in the future, if you're watching this later on, we might have different companies that we add in, and those will be added in below, but with the same type of format. So the most difficult one and the one that has the most items is the PSA. So let's go into that. You can see all the different types of orders we have here for PSA, including our non-card orders. So with these, you want to know what cards you have and what you're trying to submit, because they can go on different orders. Especially like the value bulk, our cheapest level, the $20 level, you do have to submit those by years. So we have a 79 and older one and a 1980 and newer one. We also have our dual auto and grade card functions for each different level as well. So if you want to have with PSA the autograph graded as well as the card, you have to choose one of those levels, which you can see card grade plus auto grade here. We are not doing any authenticating of that stuff, in terms of I want to have my card graded but just the autograph authenticated, or just the card authenticated and the autograph have a grade number, just because we don't get enough of those levels. So for us, our only options is to do the card grade and the auto grade. The other important thing to know is the declared value. So PSA does not really want you submitting cards that have a high value as is in the current state, its raw state, not as what it could grade, on the lower level submissions. So you have a $500 declared value limit for these bulk levels, and they go up to regular, which is $1,500, express $2,500, super express $5,000. If it's more than $5,000, you think, we always usually just send on super express. Remember, PSA always reserves the right to upcharge though. So if you do send a card on a lower level and it gets a 10, or they deem it as a higher value, they might charge you a higher level grade. The reason why it's so important to choose the right level is for the insurance. So if you decide to send a $1,000 card on, say, the bulk level, that's a $500 declared value limit, and you put in the value at $450 or whatever that is, if something were to happen to the card, does not happen very often, it's only happened once or twice in our thousands of orders we sent, but it can happen, whether in shipping or if PSA say were to damage the card while they were holding the card or in their possession, they are only going to give you credit for your highest level of declared value. So if you send that $1,000 card on this level and say something were to happen to it, you are only going to get the $499 back. you would not get the full $1,000 value. So that is why it's important to send it on the correct level. As you can see, we've got all the different levels like we talked about. As I also said, we have the non-cards down here, which are tickets, packs, coins, and pins. Then we also have the crossover levels here. So if you have a card that's in a different company, say Beckett or SGC, and you want to try and cross it to a PSA card grade, then that's the crossover levels you would use there. Then we also have for Beckett. Beckett, you do not have to worry about declared value. You can send any card on any level. It just depends on the turnaround time for that. And it's the same thing for SGC. There's only one level for SGC, which is standard, but sometimes they have promotions, which we actually have one going on right now, that will add on to the sites, and you can choose that and submit. So let's do a PSA order. Let's say we're submitting a 1981 Topps Joe Montana rookie card. So I'd want to go into the value bulk, 1980 or newer, because I'm saying the value right now is $200 of that card. So hit create order. A little bit more explanation here. Shows you how many cards you have logged, the estimated turnaround time that can change, price per card. You do not pay here on the website. You actually pay when cards come back and they're ready to pick up in case there are upcharges. Declared value. We have our submission process. You can read more about it here, how to fill out the form, more details there, and how the updates on your grading order go. We also have bubbles here, question bubbles near each one to kind of help you out, and I'll talk through those here in a second. So if you want to start with your first card, you go to sport, you choose the sport it is, or other if it's not listed. So this one's a football, you have a quantity, so if you have the same card, you don't have to log that card multiple times, you can just change the quantity there. Joe Montana is a 1981 Topps, so you'd enter in the year. You enter in the brand name here, which is a Topps Panini, maybe it's Topps Chrome, Panini Prism, Upper Deck Series 1, whatever that might be, that goes there. Insert parallel, it might not have it, like this card does not have an inserted parallel name because it's just a base card. Inserts or parallels are the ones that are called different things. So maybe, the insert set is called sheesh, or hot numbers, things like that. That would go there. Or parallels are usually the parallel of a base card. So a lot of times in like Topps Chrome, you'll have a blue refractor or a gold refractor or things like that. That goes in the insert or parallel name. For card number, it's the number you find on the back of the card. It's usually always a number for the card number set. It also might have some letters in there. So if it's an insert set or an autograph, it might be like FS-5 or FS-HC, something like that. That is the actual card number. That's what goes in there. So for this one, we're just going to put 181. I don't actually know if that is the card number or not, but for this, we'll do that. Player name, you just type in the player name or the multiple names if you have it. Serial number. Not every card has a serial number. Those are for the cards that are numbered. So a lot of times your parallels, like a gold refractor, might be numbered out of 50. So it's either on the front of the card that's stamped or on the back of the card that's stamped, and it will say the card number of 50, so like 21 of 50 or 2 of 50 with like a slash in between, and that can kind of show you there up there. So for this one, we do not have a serial number because it's just a base card, so we'll leave that blank, and then declared value. This does not have to be perfect. You can put in an estimate of what you think it is. We put everything at the highest declared value, so say this one, I think it's $200. If you try to put in a declared value higher than what the level you're at, it's not going to allow you to do that. So if you have one card, then you can go to save current order and that'll take you to the cart and you can check out. Or if you have multiple cards, you just go log new card, the next line comes up and you can start entering your information. So you can do that for how many cards you have for that service level and submission. If you need to delete something, you mess something up, there's a remove now button or add row button. So just hit remove now because I'm only doing this one. It will confirm with you, you do that, back to one card. So once you are done entering in all your cards, you can hit save your current order. Now, this is where you can, if you say you don't want to finish your order at the same time, you have more cards to add, but you wanted to start on it, or something comes up, you can hit save your current order and it'll be saved to the cart. You can go and then in your carts and open that order back up as long as you don't submit it as complete. Now, you cannot start a new service level though. Remember, you can only work on one order at a time. So for this one, I'm gonna hit save current order. And that is done, and now it's showing it as one up in my cart. Or it goes to here. So now this item is in your cart. It'll show you the level you're at, your service you're at, how many cards you have. and it'll list out all your cards. You can cancel your order if you want. Say you messed up, it's in there, cancel it out, and then the order goes away. Here's your edit order function. So if you just want to save it, like I said, saves into here. You can come back, hit edit order, and it'll go back to that page. You can keep working on it. Or if you're done, you just hit proceed to checkout. You have your billing details here, all your information. Again, you are not being charged anything at this time, especially for cards and checkout. This you'll be charged once the cards get back from the grading order, which just says right here, pay when your cards arrive back from the grading company. Make sure all your billing details are correct. It should be in your accounts. Any notes that you want to include, that will be listed on the packing slip. But click here if you're ready to go. Place order. Now your order is complete. You can see it has an order number, the date, your email, the total starts at, which it will total up the number of cards for that level, and that's the base value of what you're going to pay if there's no upcharges from PSA. In-store payment, which is selected. You have all this. Here's the important part, like we said. Has all your cards listed. Print packing slip. We have to have your packing slip with your cards when you turn them in, because that lets us know which order number it is and how and whose cards they are. So you need the print packing slip, and that opens up on a separate page. And if it's your computer set up, it'll print to this. If it's on 2 pages, that's fine. You can change your settings if you want to kind of make it fit all on one page. So you do that, connect your your printer up here, print it out, have your cards with it, and then once you go back to this page, you can see you'll have to do some signatures, date turned in, date of next submission, and then this is for the shop here. And then once you're done, you can just click out of that. You're back on your page here, and then you can click back on your dashboard. If you do not have a printer, we will have printers available and computers available at the shop at all times for you to log in and print that out from your dashboard if you need to. As you can see now on the dashboard, it is showing up here, and your status is print packing slip and bring cards to store. So if you need to log it back into your store, or you don't have a printer coming to the shop, go to your grading portal, log in, go to my orders, and you can print packing slip from the shop to turn in your order. If you ever want to view your order, it's in here as well. And if you need to cancel it, say you did the whole thing and completed it, but you changed your mind, aren't going to turn in some of the cards, you can always cancel that order before you bring it to the shop. This is where the status is going to update. So once you turn in your cards to the shop, and the next day, our workers are going to log those in, where this status is going to change to at store or at shop. So your cards have been checked in, they're here safe and sound at the shop, and then they're getting ready to be sent out when our next grading order is going out. Once it arrives at the grading company, so whether that's PSA, Beckett, SGC, the status will be changed once we update that to arrived at PSA, arrived at Beckett, whatever else. For Beckett, SGC, remember that is the last update we give, because they do not give us updates in terms of where the card is in the grading process. So the next update you will get will be when it has arrived back at the store, and it'll say completed or arrived back at store. You'll get an email as well to your email that will say that too, and that means your cards are ready to come pick up and they are done. PSA, we have a few more levels that will update. So there's an submission, a research and ID stage, a grading stage, assembly stage. There's actually 2 of those, and then shipped and completed. So we update that usually every 1 or 2 weeks, and you'll get notified when those updates happen as well, so you can kind of follow along in your dashboard to see that. The beautiful thing about our site now is if you ever have any questions about an order, you can always come in here and check the status of it. Maybe your emails bounce and you're like, man, it's been a couple months and I feel like my order should be back. If it's showing as completed, that means the order is done. You can do that. If you ever want to figure out what cards are on your order, you can always click on your order and view here as well. So that's pretty much the site, guys. If you have any other questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to us. I hope it's pretty self-explanatory. Remember, all your information is always in this dashboard, so you can always check in here on your submissions and do that. And yeah, we're excited to launch this to you, and we hope you enjoy it.